In a remote village where the sun scorched the earth and hope was a rare visitor, lived a boy named Armin. He was the youngest of 4 siblings, raised by a single mother who worked sunrise to sunset just to keep food on the table. Armin wasn't angry about his life, at least not at first. He knew struggle, he knew scarcity, but he also knew love, warmth, and the soft strength in his mother's tired smile. What began to change him wasn't hardship. It was watching others get more with less effort. A neighbor his age got a scholarship without applying. Another boy had a father who pulled strings to get him a city job. Meanwhile, Armin worked twice as hard for half the chance. That's when the anger crept in. Why them? Why not me? The question haunted him. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't entitled. He just wanted a fair shot. But life didn't seem interested in being fair. As Armin grew older, the unfairness only deepened. He watched as people with connections rose quickly, while he stayed stuck in the same place, grinding day after day. He studied by candlelight, worked odd jobs on weekends, and still barely scraped by. Every effort felt like it was swallowed by silence. No reward, no recognition, just more waiting, more struggle. He started to question everything, his dreams, his efforts, even his own worth. One night, sitting outside under a broken street lamp, he whispered to himself, "What's the point of trying if life isn't playing fair?" His mother, hearing his voice through the thin walls, came and sat beside him. She didn't lecture. She didn't offer answers. She just placed her hand on his shoulder and said softly, "Life may not be fair, but you can still be strong." Those words didn't erase his pain, but they planted something, a seed, a reason to rise that didn't depend on fairness, but on something deeper, inner strength. The next morning, Armin woke up before the sun. Nothing around him had changed. The roof still leaked, the shoes still had holes, and the world still looked tilted in someone else's favor. But something inside him had shifted. He stopped expecting fairness. Instead, he started building endurance. Every task he used to dread, he now treated as training. Carrying water, discipline, studying alone, focus, working while others rested, grit. He realized that while life could take opportunities from him, it couldn't take his mindset, unless he gave it away. Slowly, the frustration turned into fuel. If you've ever felt like life keeps handing you the harder path, this channel is for you. Subscribe to hear more stories that remind you, even when life isn't fair, you still have power. Armin didn't become fearless, but he became determined. He no longer asked, "Why me?" Instead, he asked, "What now?" And that shift changed everything. He was done waiting for things to get easier. He was becoming someone who would rise anyway. As the seasons changed, so did Armin. He didn't suddenly get lucky. He didn't find shortcuts, but he became someone who kept showing up, even when no one noticed. He saved every small coin he earned, studied in silence while others scrolled through their phones, and trained his body and mind to endure what others avoided. Slowly, he started to separate himself, not by luck, but by character. While others complained, he adapted. While others blamed, he built. The village hadn't changed, but he had. People began to notice. His old teacher offered him a chance to tutor younger students. A traveling NGO, impressed by his initiative, helped him apply for a training program in the city. Doors didn't swing open, but cracks appeared, and Armin had the strength to push through them. He realized something powerful. Life may not hand you justice, but it will test what you're made of. And that test can forge something far stronger than comfort: resilience. Over time, Armin stopped seeing his struggle as a curse. He began to recognize it for what it truly was: a teacher. While others were given chances, he had been given strength. While others coasted on comfort, he had been carved by adversity. He had learned to think, to fight, to persist, and most importantly, to rely on nothing but his own will. Every rejection had sharpened his focus. Every disappointment had taught him to stand taller. And now, as he began building a life on his own terms, he wasn't bitter. He was proud. Not because it was easy, but because it wasn't. He had walked the long road without applause, without shortcuts, without someone holding the door. And because of that, he knew the value of everything he had earned. Fairness no longer defined his success. Discipline did. And that shift turned a victim into a warrior. Armin didn't need life to be easy. He had become someone built for the hard way. Years later, Armin stood in front of a classroom, not as a student, but as a teacher. The same village that once offered him nothing was now learning from him. He didn't wear success like a trophy. He carried it like a scar, earned, not gifted. His story wasn't flashy. It didn't go viral, but it was real, and it mattered, because he had discovered something most people never do. Life doesn't owe you fairness, but it offers you a choice, every single day. The choice to keep going, or give up, to complain, or to build, to wait for someone to save you, or to become the one who saves yourself. Armin's greatest victory wasn't escaping hardship. It was becoming someone stronger than it. He didn't win because life got easier. He won because he refused to let the unfairness break him. And now, ask yourself, when life doesn't play fair, will you fold under it, or will you rise above it?